Now, because you know something, in Nigeria, there is something called the education tax. Every business in Nigeria, operating in Nigeria, is expected to pay that 2% from their profit before tax, not even profit after tax. So before they declare their tax or remove tax money, everything, they have to take 2% out and pay it to government. That money is meant to be shared. Like I said, you rob Peter to pay Paul, it's all about it, okay? So once that money entered that cookie jar, they share the money to all the states to go and use it to fund education. But they never did. It's there is law. They are taking the money from all those guys in Nigeria. So that one is not a money that somebody can say, well, like if you want to create another fund that you want to tax that way, all right, you will not touch the money from oil, the money from taxes. You would only touch the one that is your share. And that is where the lie is. And that is what they are going to tell you why their student loan did not work. Because some people did not want it to work. Some people make sure that it did not work in their state. Because when Tinubu wanted something to use to deceive Una, after saying he removed subsidy gone, he said student loan. But there was no plan. There was no actually anything like that. Like no plan, no RNG for it. It's just something they had to say at the time. And here are this is number 9. I have other 3. So yeah, they will take the money from the FIRS, Federal Inland Revenue Service. They will take money from the Nigerian Immigration Service. They will take money from the Nigerian Customs Service. You can't take money from them. Or maybe you can. Like himself, don't they sound like Nigeria is not a lawless place. Okay, maybe he can. But if he can, is he going to take it for you? Can he break the law for you? No, he can't. But here is another one. They said, that the fund is to be domiciled in the central bank and managed by 11 persons. Special committee, 11-person special committee chaired by the central bank governor. The law stipulates in section 5 of this dialogue, this one we will call you the sign. To apply for the education loan, candidates are required to submit applications to the chairperson of the central bank governor-headed committee through their respective banks. So you go to your bank, after you have fulfilled all the other requirements, you go to your bank and submit it. They will send it to Kadobi Oduduwa Emefiole's committee, okay? And then your loan will be processed. So the application is to be accompanied by a cover letter signed by the head of their institutions, vice chancellors for university students, rector for polytechnic students, and provost for colleges of education, and student affairs officer of the institution. Now, these are supposed 12 points or highlights that you should know, but these are bullshit, because that is not what will give you the loan. Apart from pointing out that one I pointed out, here are a few things they didn't tell you is part of it. Okay? Number 1, in your family, if there is anybody that the money they are making in a single year is over 500,000 naira, you are not qualified to take the loan, to apply. It simply means that your entire household, not you in particular, your entire household, okay, must be earning something around maybe 30,000 naira or 35,000 naira a month in Nigeria of today. Then you can qualify. Okay. Also, you would have to go and look for either a royal father, a community head, level 12 officer, or a judge, bishop, or chief imam of your community to say they know you and you are a good person that they can stand for as guarantor. You need 2 of them to sign. In the forms that they will sign, they will say, if you fail to pay the money, they will pay. Those are your guarantors. Okay? Now, after you do all of that, you will now submit to the committee that, as they said, okay, you will submit to the committee through your bank. All right, you may be able to pick up the forms in your bank, okay? The guarantor's form will be there written. If you fail to pay, the guarantors will pay. If the guarantors can't pay, you and guarantor will go jail. You understand that now? It is interest free. Oh, there's no interest, so there's nothing. Oh, and there's only 10% of your salary they will take. Oh, it won't really be an issue, right? However, once the guarantor sign, that's when you now take it to your provost, to your VC in your school. All right. And they would have to also sign that you are a student and all that. Then you now take it to your bank where you pick the form. I believe you'll be able to pick up the forms in the banks, okay, as a student. Now, all of these that have shown that you are a student, you have guarantors, you do not have the money to go to school. You do not have any money, you do not have any sponsor. That's why you need this. They said this is meant for the people who are actually poor, that have lost hope of going to school. So some of you don't really see that, don't think it is really generally for everybody. But I know that there are those who are really, really meant to benefit this, okay? And not, in all honesty, I wish it is not this really tough, all right? That you could actually access all this money. If that would be something that you can say, this is what I got from Nigeria. This is what Nigeria did for me. Like, I mean, there are many of us that will tell you, Nigeria stole a lot from us. Nigeria stole our childhood, stole everything. And it's still yet not freeing us. So if that student loan or so is something that you can look back and say, if not for it, I'll probably never be a graduate, something like that. I would want that to happen. But here is the final one. After you have done all of that, you can only be given the money based on the available money. Do you understand what that means? It simply means that you just have to wait. If the committee says the money they have now, for example, where they are budgeting 10 billion for student loan in that country, you ask yourself, for how many students? 10 billion for student loan, 6 billion for yacht, 40 billion for cars, 52 billion for vehicles, for senators, for reps, 90 billion to subsidize going to Mecca. I mean, look around, it's pretty much what it's still going to be, but they are going to make you believe that, oh, the money will come. But from where? So it simply means that if the money is not available, all this wahala, you have to wait. And the story can, you know, Nigeria now, as a student, that money needs to be, you have to have that money now, or else once you miss the term or you miss a semester payment, that is you. And that could take you down a very dark road. Not helpful. So that is not part of what they wanted you to know in that letter. That hasn't changed. What has changed is that Tinubu said something about with immediate effect. Does that mean that you can go on and just do it? I'll show you where they were signing it. First, it's signed. That is the second time he is signing the same bogus nonsense. I know their game. Here you get. They can just say, you know something. Let us shame these people who are trying to expose this fraud. Let's just use 1 billion. Okay? And let's just say, oh, the committee has approved the first 2,500 beneficiaries of student loan, and then they will just release some names into the media. And then you start seeing some video. I am so happy. Thank you, God. Thank you, and all of that stuff. And that's all they need. And if they tell you tomorrow that, the country is going through a lot right now, Mr. President said that we should give money. I mean, we have backlog. We are expecting some money when Mr. President is approving, then we'll begin to pay all other students. Now, so now go to wait. I know their game. Do you think this guy knows what he is doing? After signing that for the second time in 10 months, nobody say they don't carry them out. Nobody say, okay, they have started the student loan, but there is some faults. So they have to put a stop to it and quickly fix something. About everything where they hear about the student loan, now audio, the way you are hearing it now, and the videos and pictures I'm showing you, that's all the whole thing about the student loan. Oh. How many of you know that in the course of this student loan, why they are debating whether na 5 billion or 10 billion, make them pay or put inside the student loan? Do you know that they've already spent over 100? I mean, sorry, over 1 billion naira just putting together student loan. Do you know that? Anyway, now listen to this guy who signed the student loan, okay? And after it, tell me that this guy knows what he's talking about. Do you mind? Now pay attention. This is Kalu, ladies and gentlemen.
We have just signed a bill proclaiming the student loan effectively. First of all, I must thank the members of the National Assembly for their expeditious handling of this bill, considering the children of Nigeria, that education is the tool to fight against poverty effectively. We are determined to ensure education is given the proper attention necessary for the country, including skill development programs. This is to ensure that no one, no matter how poor their background is excluded from quality education and opportunity to build their future. We are here because we are all educated and we are helped. In the past, you've seen a lot of our children drop out of colleges and given up the opportunity. That is no more. The standard and the control is there for you to apply, no matter who you are, as long as you are a Nigerian citizen.
No matter who you are, no matter how poor you are, you can still access education. Brilliant, yeah? So the mechanism is out there. So now, when it said with immediate effect, what does that mean? With immediate effect, does that mean that immediate effect? Well, there is no immediate effect. There is nothing to actually help you. Like, oh, let us go to the website of the Ministry of Education. And let us go and see the portals for the student loan. All right? Well, let's go on this or that. You won't find anything there because there is nothing there telling you about student loan. Nothing. But the president said, the president said, with immediate effect. So what does with immediate effect mean? If it is not a con job. And somebody said that, why are people laughing? Well, a lot of people laugh because, the situation has gone beyond even crying. Like, what would even crying or laughing change in a situation that is beyond remedy, beyond redeemable, irredeemable situation? Anyway, I was coming to the studio this afternoon when I received a sort of a notification. I was coming from an odd place. It's like a few days ago, people were asking that now that the Okwama people are under this military invasion, and it's all over the place, where is Asari Dokubo? Where is Asari? And that was when I saw that notification and opened it up. Waiting, I saw, I was like, something is definitely actually really going wrong now. Asari is Ijo today. Tomorrow, Asari is Igbo. And the day after that, Asari is Kalabari. And the day after that, Asari is Igbo again. Then afterward, it's going to be a Biafran. And day after that, like every day, like that chameleon. Until I saw this, I was like, okay, wait, is he trying to tell us now that the Nigerian military, somehow, what they are doing in Okwama, in Delta, and in Bayelsa, the civilians who have now fallen victims of the military bullet, and the military preventing the access to those areas, is it kind of the time for Asari Doku Dump to become Igbo? I don't know, but he was telling some history today, and he was so passionate about it that everywhere people were like, Asari is Igbo now, Asari is Igbo. What's going on? Take a listen.
I am Edi Abali today. Edi Abali is an Igbo man. He's from Obom in Abang. He's from Obom in Abang. From there, his family went to Bosi in Anambra State before they came to New Calabar. He's an Igbo man. I am Edi Abali. So when somebody says Igbo, no, I am, yes. The name I answered today, the stool on which I sit today, which was created as one of the first volcano houses to be created, in fact, among the first 5 to be created in Calabar land. Edi Abali became the richest man of his time. He's an Igbo man, 100%. And he never denied being an Igbo man. So I, his worthy descendant, will not deny. I have my disagreement with Igbo, but I cannot. So also is Briggs. So also is Oxford. Young Briggs, Oswald, Edi Abali, my father, Wananako. These are all Igbo men. Uzoma, Elebike, Elebuke, Odikadibia, David Wells, Elebuke Wells. These are all Igbos. Let nobody come and be denying that, hey, we are not Igbos, we are not this, we are not that. It's a lie. These people are Igbos. So, like I said, I am historical correction officer. We have to tell our children our history, true, and leave this falsehood. Tell our history. We should not be ashamed of who we are. We should not be ashamed of who we are. It's not because somebody is making claim we are going to deny because a man is making claim. Whether Igbo people make claim or not, that's their bloody business. That will not stop us from saying that this is what we are. who we are. And we stand up to who we are. We keep record of who we are. We tell the world who we are. We stand so that from that we can draw our strength. We can become who we really are. Tiagasa, the Tiagasa, he fell, he fainted, he passed out. He passed out. How many times would they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Ah! Now they never leave you. They have left you behind.
Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele.
Alhaji Asari, we know the history. I'm not trying to join this your conversation of people trying to say you are Igbo or you are not Igbo. We are this or that. But some of us know the history before 1966. And we know the history from 1966. And we also know why. The today's where they call the Niger Delta of Nigeria, why it was politically created, cause confusion, live in denial, change your names, fake your history, forge this, forge that to make sure that anything that we associate it with Igbo, any of your root linked to the Igbo is going to be considered that you will be a target. And we know why. And we also know now today what has caused this identity crisis in Nigeria. It hasn't helped anyone. Identity crisis. We are rivers. We are not Igbo. We are Niger Delta. We are Ijo. Everybody knows who they are. And somehow, there's a reason why the proximity, the closeness used to be a strength. It used to be the strength of the East until after 1966. And why they have done so much to have created generations of identityless Nigerians. And there are many everywhere. They have no identity, they can really say. And every now and then, it's always a battle. When you try to say, but you do have this connect. No. Don't. I say, where are you? Is that what your forefathers told you? They did a good job, right? But we do know why. We know why Nigeria became compartmentalized. We know why these artificial borders were drawn and they call them states, state creation. We know this history. All of now, as time goes on, you will discover this, you will learn from them, and you will build your strength from them. Asari know well, but there are more generations after Asari who are born into that confusion today. Into that confusion. I'm not joining you to say you be Igbo, you know be Igbo. I'm just saying that a lot of you did so much. Your fathers, your parents did so much to cut off anything that could be, and there is a reason for it. You don't know, do you? You're not changing your names to all these names that some of you cannot even like really give historical backing of where they came from. Again, I'm not taking a dig at you. I'm just saying that, listen, whoever you say you are is who you are. I'm a Yoruba man from Ijebu land. So, sure you get. And I do not have any identity crisis. So Asari is suffering from one. And those who have ensured that the politically arranged demarcation and all these fake false lines, the beneficiaries from all these places are comfortable with them. And whatever will make you know the truth. Because if you know the truth, you're going to hate on them, like seriously. So it's better you don't know the truth and they continue to plant the doubts. until they are no more. A lot of people find out later, and they are really going to be so disappointed. Yeah. Let's go to that part where they have just told us now that the Nigerian, what do you call it? The Nigerian indebtedness, the gbese, 100 years of loan repayment, generations, like, you don't understand, eh? See, if I live for another maybe 40 years, it's actually like, grace. 40 years, I'll be 80 years old, but I'll be 80 years in 40 years' time. That's the most I'll probably have. Anything after that is like extra. I'll become a burden for the people who are supposed to have their lives and get busy with their lives. So they would have to keep caring for me, because at that age, man, it says something. Which means these guys took loan that they won't pay back until 2099. About year kilawayi. This is the year 2024. In 76 years' time, some children that are yet to be born, in fact, the ones that are yet to be born, so many of them will be born into poverty. And like about 7 generations ahead, they will be born into further poverty because of the greed of these selfish ones who are here now. So yeah, at the point we're all going to have to wake up and tell ourselves the truth. I